First up on today's show, we have some work from Andy and his team at 2 Tractors and the team at Carsales. What I love about this is getting behind the scenes. I love to know behind what was the brief, what was the challenge, how did it come together? Because it's really easy to critique when you see the finished product, but you don't know what goes on behind it. So today it's really special. So I appreciate you coming in, Andy, and I'm really keen to unpack your latest work for Carsales.
Great to be here. And I'll start off by saying, in terms of shaping the outcomes, it was absolutely the 2 Tractors team. Our account director, Dom, our creative director, Tim, really pushed this, but also working beautifully with the Carsales team. You guys would be seeing this. There is a proliferation of in-house agencies that we're seeing across the board, right? And it makes a lot of sense because brands can derive a ton of value out of having that in-house. The Carsales team is incredible, and Carsales as a platform is phenomenal. They are looking at not only who is the current user, but how can we draw more users in? How can we continue to innovate our platform in such a way that we're able to do that? And you think about auto, I think with a platform like Carsales, there are a couple of different user types, right? I'm the kind of user who has it literally center of my home screen on my iPhone. I'm looking at cars all the time. And I can open it and I'm looking for a particular make, a particular model, a particular year. I know what I'm looking for. But if you are not a car fan, but the moment comes that you need to find a car, you approach that very, very differently. And Carsales have been really clever in launching voice search that is underpinned by AI and actually lets the user search for a feature. It might be a bigger boot. It might be a number of cup holders. It could be any number of things. It's really cool tech. And our job was to basically introduce that to the world. The Carsales team came up with the initial concept. We worked with them to finesse it, do the production, do the post. It was one of those great projects where it was a really short time frame. And I always think from a client perspective, from a marketer perspective, when you have those projects where the ask is big, but the clients jump in the trenches with you, they're the great projects. You love working on those projects, and this is very much.
But I think your trend within housing is really interesting because we see it as well from a media side, although it feels like it's gone in housing, it's potentially going back now. And it's quite cyclical. I think it always has been for even 60, 70 years. But the interesting thing is when you go teams, and this is what I'm hearing from you, it's like Carsales 2 Tractors. It's like one team. It's not us, them. And that's how you work really, really well together. There's no egos. There's no bias. It's just how do we do great work together? And it's how do you complement? And it feels like that's where it landed.
100%. I was talking with our creative director, Tim Murray, about this today, and it was the exact point he made. He used the phrase frictionless collaboration, right? Where it was just like, hey, let's get in this together. Let's get this done. And they're the best projects, right? Where you, as a creative, you're just working with other people who leave egos at the door. And they've got, as I say, they come up with great ideas at Carsales, both in terms of the platform, obviously, but even their ideas around content, they're really good. And they're also a really trusting partner who'll come to us and say, hey, we've got this. How can we turn it into something? So they collaborate with us the same way our own team collaborates internally, where it's like, hey, how do we make this better? How do you add some special sauce to it? And we all get the benefit from it.
And that's no easy task to do in 15 seconds. I mean, that's when I saw the ad, I loved that for that fact. And then I thought, I'm going to test this and go on another AI platform and see if I can put in what I want. I actually asked the same question as the girl in the thing for a bigger boot. And I thought, oh, well, isn't this accessible to everybody? But it wasn't.
No.
And so I thought, yeah, convenience, personalization, nailed it.
Yeah.
And if that's something, the tech exists within this brand, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Beautiful. Who wouldn't use that?
Well, let's cut to it now. So this is the latest from Carsales and 2 Tractors.
The science of advertising.
Hey, Carsales, my therapist says I have an online shopping problem and Carsales, find me a car with a really big boot. Love it.
I'm glad Big Boot didn't bring up other images.
No, and look, it's interesting, right? Because there's a stack of different deliverables for this. We shot this over 2 days. There's four different stories: out of home, static assets, and so often this is happening now, right? Again, you're filming, but you're doing all of the photography same day. Everything's being done all at once. So it was a real hustle from the Two Tractors team. But as well as from...
But the thing I see with brands that win or companies that win, they're innovating and they're producing new product and they're anchoring that. It's an important message they need to get out, but they're constantly looking at how do we solve consumers' problems, and that's how do we effectively communicate that. And this feels like that is all wrapped up. It's not just a brand campaign, although in 15 seconds, I do think car sales is mentioned 4 times.
Yeah.
So it's unmistakably car sales, but it's really pushing a new product and feature. It sounds like it's talking to 20, 30% of the market.
Yeah.
But it's an important message that adds depth to the number one platform.
And it looks technological. It looks like you're totally in the moment now. People can, the brand colours are there right in front of you the whole way on the screen. The sound at the end's great. That little sonic sort of, sticks out, and it's well done.
It's a really interesting point, right? Everything in it is considered. And you always try and do that, and things like the brand colours. I'm glad you noticed that, because it does come through, and it would be very easy for car sales to make the assumption that we are the leader in our category and we can keep offering the thing that we're offering. But you need to always be thinking about what is next and how do I attract the next user to my platform, right? Because like I say, I'm a prolific user of car sales because I love cars. So I'm taken care of. I'm not the audience for this. The audience for this is the person who perhaps a car to them isn't something that they consider that often, but they're at this point in their life where I need to start making a decision. Where do I even start? Yeah. So what you're doing is you're positioning car sales not only as the tool that's going to help you do that, but there's a level of expertise that sits behind that tool, that underpins the tool, that says, hey, you need a car. Come to us because, yes, they're all here, but we're also going to help you navigate that journey. You come to us for that. So it's about building trust.
But I think these are the best briefs. Why? Because you've got something tangible you need to get to market, but more so you've got a product market fit that helps solve. It's not just a brand campaign that you don't actually have much to work with. You're just trying to leverage some sort of emotion to try and get people to move, whereas there's not enough leverage, or there's no differentiator in market from this particular brand to another. So I think these are actually the most exciting brands.
And it's also educative in the sense that you're teaching us, even though we all know we can rely on these other platforms to find information, it's also giving you something, it's almost like an intranet within the own brand that, unless you're reminded that you can now do that, and I'm sure other brands are going to try and copy and follow and go, we have that too. We're going to, not in the same industry, but every brand probably has unique things that and tech that they actually have within their own world that we all think it's all just this, just go to the main AI platforms and we can find everything like a Google or something. Whereas this is specific. Yeah. Car sales knows its customers and knows what it's looking for. It's got all the language model of its own to build. It's a no-brainer. If I'm looking for a car, that's what I would do.
100%. And it's not narrow either. Right, it's not okay. Well, it's sedan, wagon, coupe, 2 doors, 4 doors. It goes into way more detail than that, because consumer behaviour is interesting, right? What people are looking for when it comes to buying a car, the specificity of what someone wants, particularly if they're not a car person, it might just be for them that they want the bigger boot, or they want Apple CarPlay, or they want multiple cup holders, to be able to just drill into that and go, okay, boom, and then I can add another filter and then another one and then another one.
Yeah, let's just hope Tinder doesn't have something like that. You'll hear people yelling out, I'm looking for the big boot might come into that too.
I think it's also like hijacking, like AI is everywhere, but not everyone is implementing it well or have a solution. So hijacking that. And most advertising will tell you what to think. The work that actually moves business challenges is what you do. And the brain doesn't take orders, it takes shortcuts. And most advertising avoids leading with features. And this is like car sale actually leads with features. And the category wisdom says emotion first, function later. But here's what the wisdom misses. When a feature is genuinely new from a behavioural perspective, the demonstration is the emotion. Voice search isn't a feature, it's a behavioral shift. And the behavioral shifts are the only thing that move a category. So applaud car sales, applaud 2Tractors. It's brought to life in a really nice way.
Yeah, thanks. And if I can just pay tribute to our team, Tim, Dom, Ash, everyone who worked on it, Red, they're just an incredible group of people who are just super, super committed to what they do. And I say it again, the working collaboration with the car sales team is just phenomenal. It's why we've been able to work with them for so long. Love them.